Hi, I'm Barbra Newman, president of the Larchmont Historical Society. This year marks our 25th anniversary. To commemorate this special occasion, we decided to take a look back at what was started 25 years ago and build on our founder's vision to preserve the cultural history and educate our community. So we decided to launch the Larchmont Historical Society Museum campaign. A new home for the Historical Society will finally allow us to host exhibits and special events, conduct tours, provide on-site workshops and activities for our school children. An expanded state-of-the-art archives is a much-needed resource to meet the popular request of those wishing to research their homes, family, and social history of Larchmont. The announcement of the museum campaign needed to make a big splash to raise public awareness for the Historical Society and excite the public about local history. So, Ducktales was created to bring our past to life on the streets of downtown Larchmont. Ducktales is a public art exhibit featuring 23 painted duck sculptures. We thought it was a creative way to promote the history and culture of Larchmont, with each duck telling its own historical tale. Artists were solicited and given history theme packets to inspire their duck designs. Judges chose finalists, who were then paired with sponsors. A duck adoption party was held in March on the lot of Collins Brothers Moving Corporation, one of our key event partners. Artists came to meet and claim their feathered friends, and the transformation process began. Soon afterward, on one of the hottest summer nights of the year, the decorated ducks made their premiere night debut before a July concert crowd in Memorial Park. The 23 ducks posing in the duck pond across the lawn made quite a big impression with spectators of all ages. The next morning, the Ducktales team, along with the help of Collins Brothers, Foley Hardware, the Department of Public Works, and Larchmont's own Mayor Liz Feld, installed the ducks onto the sidewalks of downtown Larchmont for the 3-month public art exhibit. Now let's hear the artists tell us about their ducks.
All the ducks are in place.
Hello, I'm Constance Levy, and this is Miss Daisy Duck, summer residence. Miss Daisy Duck is defined by her daisies, which cover her body like feathers. Because she is on vacation, she did not want to appear in anything that she may have worn in one of her many movies. Miss Daisy Duck wears her daisies quite proudly. She is here on Larchmont and prefers to keep a very low profile. Because she enjoys the latest fashions, she is wearing the most stylish straw hat and necklace ensemble, suitable for long swims off Manor Beach. She has been summering in Larchmont for many years and enjoys the peaceful solitude, which is a refreshing break from her busy movie schedule. Her husband, Donald Duck, and co-star of many years, prefers to spend his vacation in the mountains. I'm an artist, I'm a craft person. I enjoy making things come alive, that the materials should tell the story of what the piece is. So Miss Daisy Duck had to be made from daisies.
Hi, I'm Beth Nadler, and this is my Victorian decoupage. And let's see, my inspiration, I guess, is the beautiful Victorian homes that I always drive around the manor and I look at the homes and which one was mine. But anyway, and what I like to do is I put a modern twist to it by what I actually, all the paper I design, and then I decoupaged it and embellished it. Well, this is what I do. I design paper that, well, designs that are used either on paper or for textiles, for gift items. So all this paper I designed and I colored it in funky colors, and that's what gave the, I guess, the Victorian, I don't know, theme, a modern twist.
Hi, my name is Sue Girardi, and this is my Larchmont Fire Department duck. I guess it was inspired by a lot of work that I've done for the fire department and by my husband, who is a volunteer fireman here in Larchmont. One side pictures the centennial doors of Larchmont Firehouse that I painted in 1991, and the other side pictures a cartoon of Engine 1, which is the antique engine that the fire department has been restoring for a number of years. And that's why I chose the fire department, my longtime affiliation with the volunteers of Larchmont. My own personal work has been window painting here in Larchmont for many years, probably about 20 years now, I think. I also do some murals. I paint furniture. I am the art director at a day camp, and that's about sums it up.
Hi, I'm Jim Levy, and this is Lucky Ducky. Lucky Ducky represents the essence of Larchmont, which is sailing. Everybody loves to sail around here, and Lucky Ducky is the sailing duck, and he wins all the time. I had a great deal of fun making Lucky Ducky, and I'll miss him, but he's going to a good home. He's going to have lots of other ducks to live with. Thank you.
I'm Tinka Denenberg. I live in Larchmont, and this is the duck that I made. He's a Groucho duck, and he's called Why because Groucho was talking to Chico, and he was giving Chico directions to go 2 blocks this way and 2 blocks that way and then go under the viaduct. And Chico said, "Why a duck?" So that's why his name is Why. I did a Groucho Marx duck because there was a very active movie industry in Larchmont and Mamaroneck early on. For instance, my son bought a house that Rudolph Valentino supposedly stayed in briefly. I don't know if Groucho was ever here, but a lot of other movies were made here. I've lived in Larchmont 35 years, and my 2 children grew up here. And I've taught art in public schools and private schools and the Museum of Modern Art. And at one point set up a children's art workshop in Mamaroneck. So, and I have a studio, had several studios here. And I like it here.
I'm Judy Aronow, and this is my, my pal, the Mallet of Oz. I chose the theme, The Wizard of Oz, because the instructions mentioned that Judy Garland lived in Larchmont, and I thought, well, Judy Garland and The Wizard of Oz, and I absolutely love that movie, and I watched it 10 times in order to garner ideas and scenes for my duck, and it started out as a flat painting, and I took advice from cow painters and tried this modeling material that's called Magisculpt. Sounds like an advertisement for it. And once I did one little thing in 3 dimensions, I wound up doing the whole thing over so that it would be sculptural. And I had a lot of fun. And normally I'm a botanical illustrator and I work with watercolor, so this was a wonderful and fun departure, so I could be whimsical and funny and work with clay, and I loved it, and I hope that it brings a lot of happiness and smiles to children and adults who also love The Wizard of Oz. So I'm happy I got to do the project.
Hello, I'm Diana Taylor, and my duck is all ducked out. It's a celebration of the Mamaroneck High School crafts program that was started in 1971 with metals, fibers, and fabrics. So being the metals, fibers, and fabrics teacher at that time, I ducked my duck out with jewels and like a quilt and the fabric of the vest. And I had a wonderful time doing it. The necklace, as you can see, it's almost a self-portrait. And she's got earrings, and I also knew that she just had to have her little duck ankle bracelet down there, the little duck ankle bracelet. And the other ankle bracelets are King Kong and various other things. Let me straighten her earring out. I think she's stuck to her head. There we go. There we are. Okay, and I too am a Mamaroneck Artists Guild member, board member, and I love to do everything that you see here. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jason Martz, and this is my duck called the Symphony Duck. And this duck shows all of the composers of Larchmont. John Philip Sousa, myself, Jason Martz. This duck is a special duck in that it also plays music. I'm both a composer and an artist, and there's a sound system in here that plays what I call it is a mash mix of all the luminaries from Larchmont. There is Tea for Two. There's the I Love Lucy theme. There's, I got to look at my duck to think of all the guys. John Philip Sousa, and I actually am a composer and musician myself, and there's some Michael Jackson. I worked on a Michael Jackson song, Black or White. There is a Frank Zappa song, and there's We Built This City on Rock and Roll. So this, I call it an a raw abstract expressionist homage to the composers of Larchmont. Who did I forget? Oh, Segovia. I always forget Segovia.
I'm Joan Mazo. I'm a second grade teacher at Murray Avenue School. A large part of the second grade curriculum in social studies is about community. And when all the second grade teachers saw the advertisements for the ducks, we all decided that this would be a wonderful opportunity for the students to really get appreciation of what it means to be part of a community and to do a community service project by making the duck and help to create a historical society, have the duck be available to be auctioned for the funds for it. So the children, all the second grade children, brought in pictures of themselves, and then we put a call out for all alumni of Murray Avenue School to also send in pictures of themselves, which the children then decoupaged onto the duck, and along with the other second grade teachers and the art teacher at Murray Avenue School, we put together our Tales of Murray Avenue School. Murray Avenue being a very important part of the Larchmont community, established in 1921. So we have some current and some very old faces on our duck.
I'm Sonia Moross Bregman, and this is the Mosaics of Larchmont Duck. I've hand painted 6 different scenes of Larchmont. You have the library, you have the mooring in the, you have the Larchmont Yacht Club. The gazebo is on his tail, and there's the Red Bridge and the Manor House. And it's all done with Briar mosaics. So, and I thought a mallard duck really represented the duck pond very well. I've lived down there at the duck pond for 35 years, and we've seen a lot of mallard ducks.
Hi, my name is Mary Louise Gladstone. I'm an artist and an art educator and a jeweler at Mamaroneck Artists Guild. And this is Diamond Jim Duck. And Diamond Jim Duck is covered with close to 10,000 crystals on him. They're set in a pattern, and he took a lot of hours, about 90 hours to complete, and we really had a good time with him. Diamond Jim has a collar and spats because that was the fashion of the day. He was based on Diamond Jim Buchanan, who was a millionaire entrepreneur who lived in Larchmont and entertained Lillian Russell and wore outrageous jewelry and loved to wear outrageous jewelry. So I decided the Diamond Jim Duck had to be absolutely outrageous, which he is. And he's wearing spats and a top hat and his cane. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing him, and I hope he brings a lot of joy to people here in Larchmont. And I belong to the Mamaroneck Artists Guild, which is in Larchmont, so if you need to see any other interesting art, come to the Guild. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Patricia Miner Sutherland, and I painted 2 ducks. This one is called Star Ducks, and it has all the famous movie stars that have lived in Larchmont, like Yul Brynner, Matt Dillon, Jonathan Winters, Judy Garland, Bennett Miller, and Joan Rivers, and a whole bunch of other talented people. And my other duck is this one here that I did in front of the press in an afternoon. And this is Manor Park. And one side is the gazebo that faces the yacht club. And the other side is the gazebo that faces the sound. And you can tell them apart by the fish on top here And this one has a little boat up here. This one I did in front of the press and a whole bunch of people in an afternoon. And this is wonderful. Some magnificent ducks around here.
My name is Patty Horing, and my duck is his honor duck. And he basically celebrates the history of the mayors of Larchmont. And I thought of him because every time I go to Village Hall, I love to look at those pictures that line the stairs and look at all the different faces of the people that have been the mayor and their funny glasses and funny sideburns and big beards, and suddenly there are women, and that's what got me thinking about that. So that's why we have his honor duck.
I'm Lou Del Guercio, and I've lived in Larchmont all of my life. And since 1964, we've lived on the premium mill pond with a good view of Red Bridge. Now, I've read somewhere that Red Bridge was called Red Bridge because it was the site of the original Red Mill based there. And then it was moved later on out to the other side of the premium mill pond. And this house was originally part of the Red Mill, and parts of it are the oldest house in Larchmont, actually, and very few people actually know that. And having a good view of the bridge, this time of the year we see a lot of the kids fishing from there, and they catch crabs, they catch baby bluefish, which are delicious eating. They catch small striped bass, they catch silver perch. It's really a wonderful spot, and you see them there all the time, and that's what gave me the idea for the Red Bridge duck and the kids fishing. On this side, we see the inside of Red Bridge, and looking across, we see my daughter's house on the mill pond, and our house is behind it, which you can't see because of the trees. And you look out across Long Island Sound to see Long Island itself, and the boys fishing, so forth. As I say, I've lived in Larchmont all my life. I'm a retired surgeon and enjoy painting. And the only time I ever had any art instruction was at Chatsworth Avenue School when I was a child, and Miss Grace Winters was our art teacher, and she was the one who gave me encouragement back then, and it took 70 years for me to start painting again.
Hi, I'm Sophia Bernstein, and this is Swan Lake Duck. She was made in honor of Anna Pavlova, who used to summer in Larchmont, and I just thought the idea of putting ballet slippers on webbed feet might be a challenge, and it was. Basically, I'm not a painter, I'm an illustrator, but I've had a great deal of fun doing this one. And I hope everybody enjoys it, because it's been a lot of fun and amusing to have in the dining room, because there was no place else to finish it off in the house.
Hi, my name is Anna Sora, and I work at Children's Creative Corner. I have the pleasure to paint. Summer is his name for the Historical Society. It is based on Norman Rockwell painting. It's a child flying a duck over the Manor Park, and I have all the gazebos and all the important pieces on Larchmont Manor. Norman Rockwell was a resident of Larchmont Manor Park, and Summer, the big dog, is flying over a sunset over all Larchmont. I have a great pleasure to do it. I'm an artist, and I teach fine art, and all the kids come to my school from Children's Creative Corner, and I'm really gonna miss him. Thank you so much for choosing me.
Hi, my name is Lynn Leahy. My husband Richard and I have lived in Larchmont for a little over 25 years, and we raised our 4 children here, and I thought this was a nice opportunity to do something about Larchmont's recreation. Since we raised our children in Larchmont, and they played on the Larchmont Junior Soccer League, and it's just a great place to bring up children. And so I had the opportunity to do the Larchmont Junior Soccer Duck, which is called the Striker Duck, because the striker is hopefully the one who scores a lot of the goals. And I made the hair from a big mop that I got in the store, and I brought it home and put it in my washing machine, and I dyed it yellow, and then I gave it a haircut and dipped it in liquid starch so that it would get stiff, and then that took about 4 days to dry almost, and then I curled it around a long paintbrush end to get the curls. And I wanted to paint the duck the traditional Larchmont soccer colors, you know, royal blue and gold. And the hardest thing was to do the cleats on the duck because, of course, I had the web feet to deal with. But that was a big challenge. And unfortunately, the great ball that I got from the World Cup, red, white, and blue USA ball, was stolen soon after the duck was put out in the street. So I have another ball to glue on as we speak. So hopefully at the gala somebody will like to buy my Larchmont Junior Striker duck and start their own soccer team in their backyard. I have a studio in Larchmont where I paint pictures and oils, and I also enjoy doing ceramics. And I'm also a piano teacher in the afternoons and teach when the kids get out of school. And I really enjoy it, and I love living in Larchmont. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Zoe Scheller. I'm 17, and my duck was, I did a Yankee duck. I did a Lou Gehrig duck because Lou Gehrig lived in Larchmont. He's summer housed here. And when I applied for the duck, I was very excited because I love to paint and I hope to one day be an artist. I'm in the process of applying to art schools, which is very exciting. And this was just a really fun project, and I like that it was a part of the community and that it got to be out for the public, and it was a lot of fun for me to do.
My name is Patty Toll, and I'm the creator of this Larchmont tree duck. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about it. I painted it using a technique that I've developed kind of as my signature style over the last few years, and whereby I take leaves and print with leaves. In other words, I pick an actual leaf from a tree, put paint on it, and press it onto the object. So you can see from all the detail on this duck that there's a lot of leaves printed in an overlapping pattern, which makes it actually look quite a bit like feathers, which I was hoping it would, and it did. Another important aspect to this technique is that I very carefully choose the tree species and the location of the tree to impart special meaning to the object that I've painted. So again, looking at the head, this has been printed completely with cherry leaves that were taken from all different houses of worship in Larchmont. The Larchmont Temple, St. Augustine's, Larchmont Avenue Church, and St. John's in the Manor. The back of the duck has been printed with sweet gum leaves from Pine Brook Park. Down here on the top of the duck's wings, this has been printed with alder leaves from the Larchmont Reservoir. The tail has been printed with hickory leaves from Larchmont Manor Park, and so on. Now, the historic tie to this theme is that trees are, in fact, a very important part of Larchmont's history. To start with, Larchmont is named for a tree, the larch. Now, there's no larch printed on this duck because the larch is a conifer and it has little sprays of needles, and they're a little hard to print with. As well, for example, in Larchmont Manor, there are some oaks that are almost 300 years old, which means that those oaks were really witnesses to the entire development of Larchmont as a community, starting from the 1700s. Also, in the old days, people were a little more connected to the earth and to plants and animals, and they knew that each tree species had a particular use that people used, for example, in terms of building, in terms of food, medicine, and so forth. This artwork that I do is really a sideline for me right now, even though I hope to be doing more. I am a child psychologist, and I work in a clinical and academic setting. But I'm also very, very interested in the natural world, and I have functioned as a naturalist at different times in the past.
This is the Commodore Colt duck by me, Vivian Wensler. It took me actually like 4 days to do the duck, and I came up with the idea because they wanted me to do something based on the Larchmont Yacht Club, and I was researching it, and I found out that one of the most famous Commodores was the inventor of the Colt 45 gun. And he was the Commodore for a long time at the Larchmont Yacht Club, which I go to, and I thought it would be really interesting to do a duck based on him with the handlebar mustache and the classic like LYC jacket. What I used was just basic acrylic paint, kind of like a copper thing for the mustache, like steel wool, feathers, and buttons and stuff like that. And at the side, I do FIT classes every weekend, and in the fall I'm going to be starting to do Art Students League classes for watercolor, like pastel, stuff like that.
Hi, my name is Carol Charney, and I painted this Please Don't Eat the Daisies duck. It's the Jean Kerr Please Don't Eat the Daisies duck, and I have her book right here. The reason I chose that, Jean and her husband Walter Kerr lived in Larchmont. Walter Kerr was a critic for the New York Times, and Jean Kerr was an author. And I remember, since I grew up with a big family and many sisters and brothers, my mother always being exasperated and saying, do I have to tell you please not to eat the daisies? If I tell you everything else, that'll be the one thing that I forgot to tell you. And so she always referenced this book. So when the opportunity came to paint a duck, I chose Jean Kerr, Please Don't Eat the Daisies, as my duck. She's got please here on the side of her beak, and she has the book in front of her, and she has a little water lily here. She's standing in the water lilies, and she's covered with Gerber daisies and rhinestones, which is all things that you're not supposed to eat. I have a store here in Larchmont. I sell antiques and decorative accessories and bedding, and I think this is a really fun project, and I love the concept of supporting the Historical Society.
The ducks brought great enjoyment and many smiles to their fans before paddling off their perches in late October. They may be gone, but their historical tales live on in the book, The Historical Ducktales of Larchmont, New York, on sale now in stores around Larchmont. We're now gearing up for the grand finale of this event, the Larchmont Historical Society's 25th Anniversary Gala and Ducktales Auction, Saturday, November 18th at the Larchmont Shore Club. Tickets are $125 and can be requested by contacting the Society. Can't make the event but want to bid on your favorite duck? Absentee bids can be placed through Friday, November 17th at 5 p.m. Information on the event and absentee bidding is posted on the Ducktales website, www.ducks.larchmonthistory.org, or by calling our office at 914-381-2239. Net proceeds from the sale of the ducks will go to fund the museum campaign, and we are hoping for a lively night of bidding to make this launch a great success.